Hey guys, I bet you didn't know it was me. That's right, Chad Daniels here. And I know it's been a long time since we did a Tech Time or a Tech Time mini show, but now's the time. I'm sorry, I've been busy. You know, it's hard to be the YouTube sensation Chad Daniels. So let's jump right in. Our last mini show, what we did was acoustic guitar strings. What's the deal with so many options and all that good stuff. So watch that if you haven't, because it's cool. If you're interested in acoustic guitar strings, I think you buy them. I don't know, just the guy that works here. So today what we're going to talk about is the electric guitar string side, because there's just as many options, if not more, for size and metal alloys and all that good stuff. So let's jump right in here. If you look here, this is just a beautiful wall of guitar strings. It's so beautiful. Look at all these colors. It's so nice. And as you can see, there's lots of selection here. There's lots of different options, and I can easily understand whether you've been playing for 5 years or 5 minutes, you could easily get overwhelmed by all the options that there are on the market. So let's break it down a little bit. Let's draw your attention to our new line of guitar strings, the PRS strings. And as we look at this row right here, really the only difference between all of these strings is just the size, right? And this is actually a small sample size. Ernie Ball, one of our more popular guitar lines strings, has even more size selections. And again, this is a modest selection of what we have in the store. They have even probably double this. But size does matter when it comes to what guitar string you put on your guitar. For example, such as a Strat. Strat's typically a standard is like the 9-42. And that is because it has to do with the scale length of the guitar. That has to do mostly with the playing style of the guitar. You know, a lot of people are going to play blues, or where you're doing like a lot of bend and lead stuff, and you need lots of bend action in there. And so 9-42 is going to be that size. It's going to work great for that because you won't have that much tension as you're doing those bends, compared to like if you put 11s on there, it's going to be really, really hard to bend to a certain note that you want. So again, it's your playing style. What are you doing with the string? What are you doing with the guitar? Stevie Ray used 11s on his Strat, but he tuned it down a half step in most cases. So that extra heavy gauge was a little compensated because he tuned it down a half a step. And so let's talk about that. You know, all the cool kids, and yes, Chad Daniels does know some cool kids, let me tell you. But a lot of cool kids nowadays are doing the drop tune tunings on their guitar for a little bit lower aggressive sounding tone. And to do that, you kind of need a heavier gauge string. So something like these PRS heavies, which is a 52-12, or something like the Burley strings, which is a 52-11, these guys will be a better option for your drop tunings, because if you drop the tune, then you're dropping the tension on the string. And if you use like a standard set of 10s or a standard set of 9s, you're just going to get some flubby action. Probably won't even get a note that you recognize because it's going to be... So if you add some heavier gauge strings, it's going to compensate for that, allow you to have a better attack, better feel, better overall quality. So that's the reason for all the different sizes string gauges. Pretty important, so you do want to pay attention. Plus, if you have like a Floyd Rose or a Strat that has a floating bridge, you definitely want to pay attention to what gauge you're using, because if you change the gauge, you're changing the tension, and that's going to raise or lower that bridge action a little bit. So definitely something you want to consider when purchasing your next guitar strings. All right, so we talked about sizes and gauges, but let's talk about metal alloys, and there's a lot of different options of that as well. So we'll talk about the standard one. One of our most popular strings is the Super Slinkies from Ernie Ball, and this is just a standard nickel wound alloy. So basically anything that you see if you buy a guitar from the factory, or you just buy a standard set of guitar strings, this is what it is, just a standard nickel wrap. Really, really good average string, you know, nothing too special, but it's one of my favorite strings because they don't cost a whole lot, and overall they have a very, very, very balanced performance as far as durability and tone and longevity. So just a great option for me, who doesn't like to spend a lot on anything really. But there is this rage of different companies doing like a specialty alloyed string, such as the Diodario NYXLs. I believe, let's see here, the PRS signatures are kind of the same boat, as well as like the Ernie Ball Cobalts. And so this is just like a specialized metal alloy that it's designed to respond with the pickup a little bit better. So this string picks up better on the pickup, and so you get a better overall clarity of tone, get a better sound, a fuller sound, or just kind of a higher output. So these strings are excellent for that. I've also found as I use these guys in the past that they provide excellent tuning stability, so it's a great option. To me, they don't last as long, they don't have the same longevity, because after a week I feel like they really, I guess because they have such initial great response, after a week they tend to kind of lose some of that, so and you notice that more. But I mean, I like these guys, these NYXOs. They're great for like if you're doing recording or if you're doing a live show. That's when I'm going to want to use those guys, and they're worth the extra money for me anyway. We also have like Ernie Ball doing the Paradigms, and these guys are just made to last longer, more durable. They do have improved tuning stability, so again, a little bit heftier on the price tag, but these are great options if you don't like to change your strings a lot. They'll last a lot longer, so you don't have to go through all that process. And so there's a couple guys on the market. The Paradigms are one of our favorites for that. And then another option is like the Ernie Balls, the Elixirs, and these guys are the coated versions. And so there's a couple of other companies that do coated strings, but Elixir, that's what they're famous for, is coated guitar strings. And so again, kind of a nickel wound string, but it has a clear coating across the string. So finger oils and dirts and Cheetos, if you eat a lot of Cheetos and you just wipe them on your guitar, well, that's okay because it won't actually affect the string. It's going to be protected by that thin layer of coating. Again, it costs twice as much, but if you don't like to change your strings, if that's just like pulling teeth out of a cat to you, then this is a great option because you won't have to do it so much. All right. So, and again, I can't stress, you know, we have just a simple supply of strings here. There's lots of different options on the market, but the more that you know, the more that you research, you know what exactly is going to work for you. You know exactly what you need for your guitar. Now, what I would recommend that you do when you change strings is always keep the packaging, because if you like the strings, then you know exactly what you need to buy for the next time. If you don't like them, then you know what you had before to stay away as you're buying something new. All right, so that is a TechTime mini show here from Chad Daniels, and we thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'm gonna throw things at you. Have a good one.